Hello everyone, I am Anggi Awisra Distanti and my student number is 1220112333139. I'm from Translation for General Text Class D and my lecturer is Professor Christina Wari. And here I will explain the language feature in translation from a culture-bound text and specific terms text. The first is culture-bound text. And here's the SL text, which is in Indonesian, and I will translate it into English with weight approach. The title is Proses Menuju Kedewasaan Begini Prosesi Hitanan di Keraton Yogyakarta. Dalam tradisi Islam, setiap anak laki-laki harus menjalani prosesi hitanan atau sunatan. Dalam ajaran Islam, prosesi hitanan merupakan prosesi peralihan seorang anak laki-laki menuju ke masa dewasa. Hal itu pula yang dijalani anak laki-laki di Keraton Yogyakarta yang banyak mengambil nilai-nilai Islam pada setiap tradisinya. Hanya saja prosesi hitanan bagi anak sultan dilakukan dengan cara yang berbeda dari anak laki-laki pada umumnya. Hal itulah yang tergambar dari prosesi hitanan untuk anak sultan yang dilaksanakan di lingkungan Keraton Yogyakarta pada 12 Mei 1975. Berdasarkan peranatan lampa-lampa atau pedoman tata laksana yang dipublikasikan lewat situs keratonjogja.id, prosesi hitanan bagi anak sultan dilalui dengan beberapa tahapan. Sehari sebelum pelaksanaan upacara, gamelan Gangsa Selendro dan Pelok ditata di Gedong Gangsa di sebelah utara dan selatan mulai pukul 15.00. Gamelan itu selanjutnya ditabuh hingga pukul 18.00 oleh seorang abdi dalam. Sementara itu, gamelan Kanjeng Kiai Kebu ditata di Bangsal Mandala sana. Sementara itu, bangunan berbentuk bilik kecil non-permanen yang disebut kerobongan mulai di sebelah timur Bangsal Manis. Selain itu, ada pula tetumbuhan yang berwujud daun dan pisang beserta batangnya yang ditata di sebelah selatan teratak Bangsal Kencana. Saat itu pula sesaji disiapkan oleh seorang abdi dalam. Dalam prosesi itu, para bendara putri juga tak luput dari tugas. Sehari sebelum pelaksanaan hitanan, mereka ditugaskan untuk menghias tempat tidur anak yang akan disunat. Setelah hias-hias selesai, mereka ditugasi untuk menemani para bendara putra yang akan disunat di bangsal kesatrian. Bendara sendiri merupakan sebutan bagi anak-anak sultan. Here's the enactment. So the text is the procedure of how Sultan's son undergoes a khitan, which is quite different from an ordinary boy. There are a lot of culture bound words in this text that are untranslatable. The text is still understandable aside from the culture bound words. And here's the selection process. Anak or anak-anak are roughly translated to English as child and children. But since these procedures are only done by boys, I specify that those related with on the text as son and boy. The tabu is roughly translated into beaten, but since gamelan is a musical instrument and it indicates as the gamelan is being played, the right translation is played. The tata is roughly translated as laid out, which means to spread something out, but gamelan is not an object that can be laid out or to spread out, therefore the right translation is arranged. Mulai di sebelah timur is ambiguous, and if it translated into English, it would be start to the east, which is also ambiguous. So instead, I make it clearer and translated it into from the east. Tak luput dari tugas roughly translated into cannot escape from tax, not but not spared from the tax is more fitting. Sebutan could be translated as nickname, but since it is implicitly also containing a call for the owner of the throne, the right translation would be appellation. Some Khitan and Sultan words are translated into circumcision if the text is explaining about a part of the step from the procedure, but if the text context talk about Khitan or Sunnat as in explaining Islamic tradition, it would remain as it is. And here's the language filter or the culture bound words that I found. First is Khitan or Sunnat. These words are still translatable, but I think circumcision is more like the process as I explained it previously. Like you don't have to do a celebration or things after the circumcision procedure is done. Whilst his Khitan or Sunnat is more like the whole process, and it is the name of the Islamic tradition. Kraton is associated with the word kingdom or palace, but the word is bound to the Japanese culture, so I think it cannot be as replaced with palace or kingdom. Sultan is a title in Muslim, usually and mostly used in a Muslim state. It has the same status as king, but if it's translated into king, it would eliminate the Islamic value. Randang Lambang-Lambang is a book by Sultan of Yogyakarta that talk about tradition that must be done followed by his heirs or heirs like Khitan and marriage. Gamelan is the name of musical instrument from Java, Indonesia. Abditalam is like the royal staff of the palace or the kraton. They are the people who devote themselves to the palace and its ruler. Kerombolan is a room in the middle of the Japanese tradition house to put offerings. Tatubuhan is another word for plants or in Japanese, kemang-kemangan. Bendera is an appellation from the Japanese language that means the Sultan's children, which is stated in the text. And here's the result, the translation into English. The title is The Process Towards Maturity. Here's the Kilan procession at Kraton, Yogyakarta. In Islamic tradition, every boy must undergo a khitan procession or sunatan. In Islamic teachings, the khitan procession is a procession of the transition from a boy to adulthood. This is also done by boys in the Quran Yogyakarta who take a lot of Islamic values in each of their tradition. However, the khitan procession for the Sultan's son is carried out differently from boys in general. This is what illustrated by the Khitan procession for the Sultan's son, which were held in the Yogyakarta Kraton environment on May 12, 1975. Based on Pranata Lampa or rules of action published on the Kraton Yogyakarta Jogja.id website, the Khitan procession for the Sultan's children goes through several stages. A day before the celebration ceremony, the Gangsa Lentro and Palo Gamelan are arranged at Gedok Gangsa in the north and south, starting at 15 p.m. Those gamelans then will be played until 18 p.m. by an abdi talent. Meanwhile, the Kanjeng Cake Abu Gamelan is arranged at Mandala Zana Ward. In the meantime, buildings in the form of non-permanent small cubicles called Korobangan from the east of Manis Ward. Apart from that, there are also tutuwuhan in the form of leaf, banana bunches, and their stems, which are arranged to the south of Tratak Kecana Ward. At the time, the offerings were prepared by an abdi talent. During the procession, the Bendara Putri who also not spared from the talks. The day before the Kitan, they are sent to decorate the bed of the boy who will be circumcised. After the decoration ceremony was over, they were assigned to accompany the Bendara Putra who were to be circumcised at the Kasatrian Ward. Bendara itself is an appellation for the Sultan's children. The second text is a text of specific terms, and I translated it into from English into Indonesian. The title of the text is Ram Shift Instant Reaction. Sian McVeigh should not shut down Matthew Stafford. The Rams lost to the Chiefs by 26-10 score on Sunday, dropping their record to 3-8 with 6 games left to do. With Cooper Cup and now Allen Robinson out for the rest of the season, added that to the pile that includes several key offensive linemen already. Questions will mount of whether Matthew Stafford should return to the team while there's so little left to play for. There's never nothing left to play for in NFL. Every week in the NFL should be the greatest opportunity of your life because for some players it is. Like Bryce Perkins making an NFL start on Sunday when so few people ever predicted that he made it this far. In many ways, it doesn't matter if you think Perkins played well or played poorly. The fact is that 99% of NFL scouts in his draft class thought he'd never play in the league at all. Every game matters to Cam Akers, a player who we all thought had played his last down for the LA Rams. But Akers was one of the few offensive bright spots on Sunday. Or Jojo Atwell, who continues to chip away at skeptics step by step, or Michael Hoyt, the former undrafted free agent who has worked his way into being a starting caliber outside linebacker as of right now. Or Riley Dixon, a free agent punter who had a very nice first down throw. I also use the same approach, which is week approach in this tax. And here's the enactment. So the text is about American football team that is currently on its downfall after winning the championship series last season. I think this text is very easy to understand, though there are some sports and football terms mentioned in it. The referential. So this tag purpose is to give information to general people, but especially to the people who enjoy watching American football, of how the Rams shape game and how the players from the losing team should reflect on the performance of the great play of the other great players. The metalingual. Some word related to American football may be foreign to those who does not watch the sport and those words are untranslatable like linebackers, punter, first down, and etc. Here's the selection process. The second sentence of the first paragraph are divided into two sentences in the tail text, since it's too long and would be easier to understand. And now Arnold Robinson is translated into dan sekarang ditambah Alan Robinson to make it clearer. Because the previous sentence already has the word ditambah to avoid repetition, the word added is removed and I change it into a conjunction and since I break the second sentence of the first paragraph into two, I added the word listening symbol on the beginning of the following sentence. Should be the greatest opportunity is roughly translated into harus menjadi peluang terbesar, but it does not sound fitting in Indonesian. So I changed the translation into adalah peluang terbesar. I changed and added a lot of changes in the like price perkins and in many ways sentences so they make more sense in Indonesian. Step by step, or roughly translated into selangkah demi selangkah is changed into secara perlahan to avoid repetition. Work his way is an idiom to work or get into something with great effort or in bahasa Indonesia can be translated into bekerja keras instead of bekerja dengan caranya. And this is the language feature that are found or the specific terms. The first is season. Season in sport does not mean like season in general, like summer, winter, autumn, or fall. It because it is a specific term in sport that refers to the league competition or part of the year that games or sports are played. NFL is the name of American Football League that cannot be translated since American have a different definition of the sport football that infamously instead of dribbling the ball with your feet, American football carries the ball to the end zone or what they call it as a touchdown. Free agent in professional sport means that the athlete is not in contract with a team, so he is available to sign and get offers from any professional sport team or club. Draft in sport, especially in North America, is the process to allocate usually young players to a professional team. Linebackers are the defensive team of American football. Punter is a person to punt the ball at any advantageous field position, but the ball should not cross the end zone. First down is the chance to get into target, which is 10 yards in American football. And here's the result, the real tension, the Indonesian translated text, and the title is Reaksi Instan Drum Ship. Sean McVay seharusnya tidak mengabaikan Matthew Stafford. Rams kalah dari Chiefs dengan skor 26-10 pada hari Minggu, menjatuhkan rekor mereka menjadi 3-8 dengan 6 pertandingan tersisa. Dengan Cooper Cup dan sekarang ditambah Allen Robinson absen selama sisa musim dan banyak pemain yang sudah mencakup beberapa gelandang ofensif utama. Di sini timbul pertanyaan apakah Matthew Stafford harus kembali ke tim dengan hanya ada sedikit permainan tersisa untuk dimainkan. Tidak pernah ada kata hanya ada sedikit permainan tersisa untuk dimainkan di NFL. Setiap minggunya, bermain di NFL adalah peluang terbesar dalam hidup Anda karena begitu pula bagi para pemain lainnya. Seperti Bryce Perkins, ia memulai NFL pada hari Minggu ketika banyak orang meramalkan ia tidak akan bisa sejauh sekarang ini. Di samping itu, bukan masalah jika menurut Anda Perkins bermain baik atau buruk. Faktanya adalah 99% penonton NFL di kelas draftnya mengira ia tidak mungkin akan bermain di liga ini sama sekali. Setiap pertandingan penting bagi Cam Akers, pemain yang kami pikir telah bermain dengan sangat gigi untuk LA Rams. Tapi Akers bukanlah satu-satunya pemain yang bersinar pada ofensif pada hari Minggu. Ada Tutu Atwell yang terus membuktikan para skeptis secara perlahan. Lalu Michael Hodge, mantan free agent yang sudah berusaha keras untuk menjadi gelandang utama sebagai linebacker bagian luar untuk saat ini. Atau Riley Dixon, pemain Panther free agent yang berhasil mendapatkan first down yang sangat bagus. And that's all from my presentation. Thank you for watching.